Hi there, welcome to Number One Geek Inside Sans, and we're back with another bit of 3D printing. Now, if you remember, a long time ago actually, I did a 3D printing project of working out how to get the best out of a Bambu Labs A1 and A1 Mini doing a Terminator. I was going to continue on with that, but unfortunately the person who made the Terminator model has decided to remove it from the thing, so I've decided it's probably fair not to use it anymore. So what I've done is I've just taken a little thing, another character, and what we're going to do is we're going to see about how we're going to make this model as perfect as we possibly can. And there we go, from a 3D print point perspective. We're just going through the different processes that I went through to get to that point. Still not perfect, but at the end of the day, it's a continuous work of getting the right model, getting it to work for the model you want to do. This isn't going to go into editing the model. It's just going into the basics of the printing, and all I'm doing is I'm taking the ideas that a lot of people in my comment section have told me. So I'm just taking those ideas, and you find that the actual solution that I found is quite interesting.
Okay, so what I've done is I've taken a fancy elf. As you can see, the original base is here and the original model that comes with it. This was for a Bambu Labs A1, but let's get rid of all that because we're not actually having all that stuff there. We'll delete that. Yes, delete. There we go. Okay, so what I've done is I've taken some of the ideas that have been sent to me as part of the making miniatures thing I did a while back, and some people have said, well, okay, do it as the person says it. Okay, we'll do that. Also, we'll do it as on the back, so that it's got more of an angle, so that the lines, instead of being vertical with the thing, there's less chance of snapping, because the way that the printer does it, it will do the lines vertically, so it's going to be weak against the grain, so to speak. And finally, the other one was, why don't you just split it in half and do it in two halves? So we'll give that a go. So what we're going to do is we're going to slice this plate now, and then we're going to send it straight to the printer.
Okay, so those are all now printed off, and we'll have a quick look at them and see how well they appear. So here we have our different ones here. As you can see, the one standing up, the leg is broken because it always does, and as you can see, and standing up, there's a lot of spider webs on there and not really much detail on the face. So we move over to the next one, which was the half and half. Now the bottom half of this, like the top half, came out fairly well. Obviously you've got some more cleanup to do on that one, but that is fairly good at the bottom there. However, at the top, we've kind of like got a sand person holding a half-eaten book. I mean, it's not bad, but obviously that face isn't good. But the one thing that really surprised me was fairly how well the sideways one came out. You've actually got some detail here. So my next idea is, what happens if I mix the sideways version with the cut in half? So do it as though it was a actual miniature from the early times, where they used to have miniatures put in cast molds, and there was two halves, and you tinned both halves and then put them together and then filled it in. See if that is going to be a better suggestion. But that ain't too bad, I have to say. It's not brilliant, but not too bad, and I could cope with that. I think the only problem is we've got there is that where the supports have hit. So if we actually have a flat surface and have it at a change of angle, I think we might actually get somewhere here.
Okay, so as you can see, I'm back in Bambu Labs and I've made the cut there. I haven't made a perfectly symmetrical cut. As you might see, it's slightly across the grain, because what I want to do is try to get most of the sides on each side, so to speak, if you see what I mean. Get both of these as much material on each side, so we don't have too many small parts, because small parts generally tend to snap and break. I'm a little bit concerned about that corner there, but we'll just have to live with it and see if it actually prints out anywhere. I also realised that he does have a ponytail, so I've been cutting off the ponytail accidentally. Never mind. Right, so let's slice this bad boy up and then get it printed. Now that is interesting. Look how few supports we need. That is actually quite interesting, because this part here should actually print fairly normally because it's just doing itself. I mean, we've got a couple of print issues with that one as well, but this is like minimal stuff, so this could really be working here.
Okay, so as you can see, we have the two pieces here, and apart from a little bit of spidering, which I think might just be more to do with the PLA that I'm using and the fact that it has spent some time out in the open, so it's not the best as it can be. We are doing okay. There's a little bit of spidering there, a little bit of work. So I think from this point on, it's definitely a case of using the split in half method, and also doing the lie down method as well. So it's like a combination of a hybrid of the two. From that then on in, it's just a question of getting the settings right and the PLO right, just to make sure that you've got the perfect thing. But that is fairly good. So the next thing to do is work out how we're going to put it together. So the next question is, how are we going to pop this all together? Now, one of the most simple ones is super glue, which will definitely glue stuff together. But there is some new stuff out. Well, it's probably not new now, and I think a lot of people know. It's called Gloop, which is a PLA thing. Now, the thing about it is it's got something called methylene chloride in it, which is, I believe, is the active ingredient which melts PLA. But this, unfortunately, is about £40, because you have to pay the tax on top of it, because it's only available in America, and there's not, so far as I know, any British distributors of it. So it's well expensive for what you get. I mean, you only get that much in there. So the other option is that we go for something that also has methylene chloride in. And there's this, which you can find on Amazon, which has methylene chloride in. It's used for putting plastic welds effectively, and what we just do is we just put it on, and we take one side, which I think is going to be this side, and we give it a little bit of a smoothing over with just over there, rough up the sides a little. And the sides are rough, so, but you don't want them too rough, so you just want to make sure that there's no large bumps or bruises on there, to ensure that we have a nice smooth transition between the two. So that's that side. Now I've got to be careful with this side, because the head here is a little bit on the weak side, so I'm just going to be very gentle. Once the model's together, we can be a little bit more rough with it, but with these two halves of it, and because it's so small. Right, so next all we do, take the thing, dip in, and then we paint it onto each side of the model. If I can find the other side, there's the other side there. Just can be quite generous with this. Now you do have to be quite careful skin wise. Now here's where the tricky part starts. You then need to bring the two pieces together so that it forms a fairly cohesive. Ooh, and I've broken the thingy. Yeah, that's one thing you want to be careful with. And then you hold it together. Now the next part of this is where the magic happens. So having the model, you then just pop some little bits on the seams itself, and through what's called capillary action, the stuff gets sucked inside. And also, because it slightly melts it, you can start getting rid of some of the layer lines that might be there as well. So like any normal printed model, or sorry, some casted model, casted, that's not the word, we'll get there, is that you are going to get seam lines, and you're always going to have to prep anyway, so why not get that ready for prep. And there we have a model that is now stuck together. Now, usually you leave it for 24 hours. Okay, yep. So usually leave it for a while for it to finally do it, but effectively you are now holding a model that is a lot better than the one we cast before. I think the only issue that I have is I prefer this hand. What I could do is I could actually take some of that off and put it there, because you can just weld stuff on. So never always throw your models away, because you can always repair them or do some modelling to make them better. But effectively we've got ourselves a fairly decent model now. So while I'm at it, I may as well get him onto his base. This is actually, because of the character, it's very close to a character that my friend had in D&D, so it's his 50th birthday coming up soon, and I thought I'd make him a model. So this is very the closest to his character, Izzard the Wizard, which is what he liked to call him, and hopefully he'll enjoy painting that and having him as a keepsake. So yeah, so there's different ways of doing it, and I'm going to shut up now. So as usual, thank you again for watching. I know there's going to be a lot of things in the description section, like the last FDM printer thing I did. I had a lot of replies and a lot of help from people, and it was really great. So please keep that up, because I really enjoyed reading your comments and your tips, advice, and how you did it. Please take a look at this particular way of doing things and see if you can improve on it better, and pop it down in that comment section so other people get to learn from how you've learned how to do it. We're all a community here, so it's easy for each other to talk about these things and help each other get the best settings out of their miniatures. So once again, thank you very much for watching. Please press the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you at the next adventure. Take care, guys. Bye bye.